This is a demonstration of ADS version 1.2.44 using ArcTube notching. ArcTubes are added to the scene using this ArcTube tool. You click on the scene on the locations where you want the tube points, double click to release, or hit the enter key, and you can choose the material to give it a thickness, wall, and bend to diameter. We want to notch tubes when they intersect with other tubes so that they can be cut and fit together. In this example, we have a bent tube. So I'm going to click on Tools, Tube Notching, Notch Angled Tube Intersections, and it's going to generate these two notch profiles. Because the tube intersection is at an angle, it's going to use the outer circumference on the acute side and the inner circumference on the obtuse side so that the tube will fit together. Here's another example of a tube intersection. I'm going to select the tube that I want to notch. I click Tools, Tube Notching, Notch Angled Tube Intersections, and it will generate a notch profile. I'm going to cap the end. I don't need this end, so I'm going to delete that. If I select this tool, I can see the end. I'll just name this one. And the notch profile. In this example, let's add a tab and a slot so that we can be sure that when this intersects with the tube, that it's in the correct location. I'm going to edit the notch profile. I'm going to select some points that I want to add more subdivisions. I'm going to select 3 points. I'm going to view from the front, and then I'm going to move them into the intersecting tube with the move tool, and then I'm going to select this tab and slot tool. I'm going to view from the front. I'm going to hit up once to generate the, if it fails, then I can I'm going to modify this notch. That will be something that I'll be addressing in one of the next releases. But you can modify any of these features. So now you can see this is the slot. Here's the tab. I'm going to click OK. And now I have my features on this piece. I want ends. There we go. So you can see ends and then the slot, and the notch now has a tab that will fit into the piece. And this is a different example of notch intersection. This is something unique. In this case, the tube overlaps, but it doesn't completely intersect cleanly, so the edges won't touch like this example. So in this case, we're butting up an end into another tube. In this case, we're passing two tubes by each other. So I'm going to click on this tube. I want to cut this one so that it intersects with this tube. I'm going to click Tools, Tube Notching, Notch Angled Tube Intersections, and it's going to generate this notch profile. If I view it from the front, you can see that it has the profile around the end. So you'll notice that it has the outer circumference on these corners and the inner circumference on these corners because the tube is angled. So on this tube, I'm also going to add ends. Okay, so now that I have my pieces, I'm going to generate the GCode ArcTube Notch GCode. I'm going to select OK. Okay, and then I can look at the results by clicking on Load Export Tube Folder. So the tube that I want to look at is side 2. I'm going to drag it into the GCode viewer. and view it from the top. So you can see this is the end, this is the start, this is the notch profile, and then this is the other end. This is the other example. So you can see this is the first profile with the tab, and then this is the end. All right, so now that we've generated those, let's cut them on the CNC tube notcher and see how they fit together. This is a piece of 2-inch outer diameter mild steel. For our example, the wall thickness is 0.95, just like in the model. We're going to cut the sample pieces out of this material that we modeled in CAD, and then we're going to see how they fit together. Here are the test pieces. These are 2-inch 0.95 wall. Here's the piece with the tab. Here's the tab, and this is the slot. And here's the cut through. Tricky with one hand. The tab will keep it in the right spot. It's pretty snug. Another consideration for cutting is these notches are generated based on the profile, but one thing you may want to do is add an inset or an outset so that the torch cuts on the not on the edge. So if I uncheck closed end and then edit the object, I can see the gap. I'm just going to add some more points. Put the points outside of the material. So the torch will be, the metal will be cut here and finish here and leave a clean surface for the cut.